Valentine's Day, and it'll always be the worst day of my life for the rest of my life. This day, 5 years ago, on the 14th of February 2013, my land was trespassed by the RSPCA and the police. I heard a knock at the door, and I went to the door. My dogs got all excited. An older policeman said, "We've come about your dogs." I asked, "What about my dogs?" And it was difficult to get any further in the conversation because my dogs were all at the door, so I said, "Just a minute," and I went to put them away. However, in this process of putting them away, they just entered my home, and I was demanded to open up a kitchen door where I had two police officers rush through, and one then tried to force open another door with the two dog beds in front of it, and the two dog beds went flying and got damaged. I was then kept detained in my living room and ordered to put dogs in the back. I was then kept detained by PC King, which is now known as PC King, in my living room, and an officer by the Sergeant Chris Poole was on the outside controlling the door and wouldn't let me go outside. And actually Sergeant Chris Poole has a pocketbook of duress showing duress for this day. No consent. A search of duress is totally illegal. I would horrifyingly see the Dave Podmore and Big Kirby chasing my dogs around the yard and stealing them while I was kept detained in my living room. I tried to find my camera so I could film everything, but that wasn't possible. And then I would be ordered to go outside and released to go outside to give an age of those dogs that were stolen. And this carried on until 8 dogs were stolen, or 7 dogs, and then I was outside. The police officer in the kitchen let the final 8 outside, or six that was left, 7 that was left, and then I would be ordered to try and choose, and I would not choose. Sergeant Chris Poole is an eyewitness to this, and a search of duress is totally illegal. Mr. David Grimm, then I was being threatened also with arrest to choose. I would be threatened with arrest to sign over. Obviously, if this is a high duress situation, even further. Obviously, if they steal, otherwise they'll steal the rest of the dogs. It's a no-win position, and I couldn't sign. It was horrible. I was crying. Couldn't sign. Like the signature of duress showing an illegal activity for the day. Signature of duress was further given. Mr. David Grimm filed questions about this raid. There was no names, no cards left, nothing. Mr. David Grimm was lied to. He was told a PC King said I let in and gave my dogs away, which is a total lie. This letter was not given to me, and it was put on the courts to humiliate me and get me called a liar. This is also a cop block, so I couldn't have a warrant validity check. No warrant was given that day. They actually came back 2 weeks later to reuse the same warrant so that Mr. Ben Kirby could prance around and try and collect some evidence, and he makes a phony video saying improvements, but he has nothing to compare it to, as there was no evidence collected on the day of the theft. I've been through a very, very terrible court case. I didn't even have a case conference. Not all the documents were passed, and 2 documents that belongs to Mr. Grimm to a police file it's actually a police file for judicial review, and the legal rep of the Norfolk Constabulary, Nicole Thatcher, failed to put the entire file upon the court that the event actually is for judicial review to actually prove that PC King has lied. And so the 2 documents that were put on the court makes it look like PC King is saying I gave my dogs away and let in, which is a lie. PC King has lied, and I've got a complete cop block on the case. I've not even have a warrant validity check, and I need 2, one causing the raid, and then again for the execution 2 weeks later. And obviously they are for 2 different reasons, because there is no renewed application after the first usage, even though they did not give this to me. So I've had a a complete cover-up, and I'm in the position right now where the RSPCA steal my house, and I'm supposed to pay the police for a no-charge warrant on account of police lies upon the court. I am asking Mr. Grimm to produce his file as quickly as he can, so that his file can be put upon the court, which is the evidence required that the police have deliberately obstructed justice by not putting the entire police file on the court, that it was judicial review in order to get the legitimate truth of the events what happened to me, and that's to prove PC King has lied. He has absolutely lied. PC King must be proved he lied, and can be through Sergeant Chris Poole's pocketbook. Of course, the other 2 police officers are required as well to prove he lied. I'm just going to show you, there's dog, these are dog scratches still from my dogs that day when my dogs were stolen. I won't repaint this part of the fence because their marks are still here, where they were obviously jumping up to get away or whatever. They're still there.